All right, my friends, welcome. Module 6, week 6 of the Illumination Meditation Teacher Training. It's been quite the journey to be doing this, especially during this time on our planet. So, I have a few things I would like to share that just came up before we start and dive in. Tonight is the chakra night, and the chakra meditation is one that people either are really, really attached to or they're like, maybe not so much. So, whatever it's going to be for you, I hope this information is helpful. Um, the chakras and just having the language around them has been really helpful for me working with people. So, I want to kind of relay that to you tonight. But first, let's start in with the beautiful Brenna. Lead us in 3 deep breaths.
Hi, everyone. I invite you all to get comfortable and close your eyes. We are going to be taking the 3 deep breaths. So we will inhale, hold, and exhale. You can inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes.
Good job, good job. I feel your fingers. Thanks, girl. Okay, so I think what came up before we kind of start and dive in, and I wanted to share with you all, this group and this container is kind of like my big focus right now among like the other projects that Brenna and I are working on, of course. But this, I think a lot about you all, and even those of you that aren't here, I think a lot about each of you as individuals, and who you're here being and who you're here to be beyond who you're already being. Hi, Matt. Matt and the ninja glasses. Hi. So I think because I see you all as leaders and because I hold myself at such um high integrity, I really work on my integrity. I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not. And there's a level of leadership right now that's being called forth where, and I spoke to a few of my friend groups in Austin about this, where we're really being called to like be in integrity, especially as light workers. How in this work and in meditation, we're guiding people inward. It's some of the most tender, vulnerable, empowering things you can do with a person. So with that comes a responsibility. And it's one that you are all equipped for, capable for, worthy of, deserving, and it's possible. And there's a level of us really like continually checking in with our integrity. And so with that, I want to speak to showing up right now can be challenging. Is anybody else feeling like with the past week, like the stuff that went on, no matter where you live, like sometimes showing up is challenging? Like, can you feel that right now, especially like there are things like that used to be easy for me that feel really hard right now. And so I want to speak to the world of and with it. So it's like you're here to lead. We have to be in integrity, and showing up is really challenging right now. So we have to give ourselves grace. And it's from that place where we become embodied leaders, not just like, okay, I have this language, I have these words, and I'm going to say them, but I'm not going to actually walk the walk. Right. So people are the why people need this work and meditation and why people are so hungry for it. Brenna and I are seeing it in this like in our little like project in Indiana. I know you are all creating your own projects. Nikki had 12 people show up at her meditation, and like she thought there was going to be a couple. So the opportunity to really be in this lane is there. And now the question becomes like, what are we going to do with it? Right. And so, while it can be challenging to show up, know that everything that's coming up is for your good. And we can always speak to that. Who here has had some hard stuff coming up lately? Yeah, like big stuff, changes. Everybody's going through changes. And so, within that, we're getting like all, I keep calling them initiations. So we're going to talk about the chakras today. We're going to go into this work, but my invitation for all of you is to really own your leadership in this, even when you're weak, even when you feel like a hot mess. I feel like a hot mess a lot. And like, I'm so committed because of what we're not what we're up against, but what we could do for each other and for humanity with this work. Your healing, your healing is the mirror to your impact, right? And so you are all working on big stuff. I know that those of you on the call, I know like what you're kind of like walking through and showing up for, and it's big stuff. So I bow to you, and I like am really honored that you guys are choosing this path for yourselves. I just wanted to speak to that. Yeah, that feels complete. So let's go into shares. I would love to hear from you guys really quickly. What's going on in your world? Win or challenge? So everybody will get a chance to share. So win or challenge of this week. Let's go with Heidi.
Hi. Just heading outside. But I would say a win is arriving in Texas because it was a difficult journey getting here because of all the crazy weather. But it's good to finally be here. That's about it.
Cool. Thanks, Heidi. Let's go, Brenna.
Yeah, so I would say a win is I attended a leadership breakthrough and I did have breakthroughs. So that's cool. Yeah.
Love it. Cool. Very cool. Let's go, Matt.
My win is I feel 100% healthy, and yeah, that's good enough for me. I feel like there's not very much holding me back. There was a lot of times where I felt like things did hold me back, and now I just feel like completely free. So, and a win for me is actually not being in Texas because I moved from Texas last year. I probably will go back eventually, but yeah, I skated out at the right time, apparently.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Christy.
All right. My win this last week, I went to a like a heart-centered healing meditation type session, and I got to tap into a memory where I put trust away like when I was like 10. And so I got to find that trust and unlock it and let it back out, and really got to journey with my dad this last weekend, who passed away about 10 years ago. That he was around like the whole weekend, and it was just a really amazing heart journey with him. So
Oh, awesome. Really cool. Yeah, like that's what we can always speak to is our win. So thanks for all choosing the win. That was really cool. And if you're watching the replay, you guys write yours in your journal. Acknowledge what's felt like a win to you. Okay, let me then share my screen and let's have a chakra party. Okay. Can you guys see all the mess that's happening on my screen? Yeah. I'm one of those people that has like 5,000 tabs open now. I never used to be that person. But here we are. So, who here has worked with the chakras, done stuff with the chakras, or has done like a little work? Okay, cool. So, some of this you'll already know. My intention with sharing this is to give you a baseline of teaching, like points, basically, for when you start sharing this, if you decide to share it. For many of you, we use like the bridge archetype, like as a meditation guide or a coach and all this, it's likely you'll be people's first step onto this path, right? And so you'll go from you will be the one sharing with them like what the heck is a chakra, right? So we want really like simple, clean language and understanding and experiences with it, right? And then there are many advanced shamans and like spiritual people who can go deeper. You can always go deeper on your spiritual journey. I really love to hang out in in this space of where we're going. I know my awareness will advance and so will yours, but I think will be a cool like starter journey for us today. Senor Deepak says each of the 7 chakras are governed by spiritual laws, principles of consciousness that we can use to cultivate greater harmony, happiness, and well-being in our lives and in the world. I love that quote. Sanskrit, I took a Sanskrit class, and he it's pronounced chakras, like you're supposed to do the chakras, and some people will pronounce it like that. That's how it is in the native tongue, chakras, but you can call it chakras too. That's what I call it. So with the science, when we talk about chakras, we're taught the Sanskrit breakdown means disc. So we think of them as discs, as wheels, as not stagnant points, but very like fluid energetic points on the body. So a point of intersection where mind and body meet. I love the chakras because when you can explain it, it's like another bridge, physical and energetic, between your physical body and your energy body. So much of this work also is helping people see that they are not just physical, they're not just dense, right? When you start to learn about the mind and thoughts and meditation, you're seeing that you're not just you're like seeing that you have thoughts and beliefs and all of these things. And so chakras is a natural progression for people to start to understand themselves. They can be called an organizational center for the reception, assimilation, and transmission of life energy. So that's a good definition to write down. All of this is good stuff to write down. Of course, you'll get this. So you could call them organizational centers. In the metaphysical aspect and the energetic aspect, the chakras are a vortex and they spin in a wheel-like manner. So they're spinning in relation to their health, their vitality, and their openness, if you will. And we'll talk about that. Physically, like actually physically in your body, these are the place where there's bunches of nerve ganglia, where there's a high degree of nervous system activity, plus glands in your endocrine system. I'll finish this and then I'll speak a huge point. They exist within the subtle body. So that's a huge term that I like to use, like when I'm talking to people, like within your subtle body, your non-physical energy body. This is the work. The subtle body is where Joe Dispenza does all of his work, in the subtle body. And so like having language for that is important. So It's our non-physical energetic body that is superimposed on our physical bodies. Isn't that such a cool way to think of it? Measured as electromagnetic force fields. So we are measurable. Our vibration is measurable, and the chakras are measurable. The chakras contribute to create your aura, which is your physical external manifestation of your subtle body. So some people can physically see auras. There's an incredible aura book. If anybody's interested in it, I'll send it to you when I get home. If anybody wants to like dive more into auras, some of your spiritual gifts are going to be seeing auras. Some people are seers, where colors naturally appear. And that is definitely, if it's something you want to cultivate as part of your healing gifts, you absolutely can. I'm not much of a, I don't know. I haven't really trained that part. What's the book called? I'll have to look. It's at home. So I'll let you guys know when I'm home. I'll post it in the group. So what is what are the chakras made of? Like, what's the content? The content of each chakra is formed largely by repeated patterns from our actions in day-to-day life. So the health of our chakras is formed by our patterning. So those can come from programming from our parents, culture, our physical body, like relationship with our physical body, information from previous lives. These are all also factors. So this is kind of like what I would go over if I was like teaching a workshop on chakras. I would just share exactly this, or you can always make up your own kind of, or not make it up, but research your own ways to say it. It's like, yeah, just make it up, you know. Okay, so many times we see this like rainbow 7 chakra like image, and it's beautiful and I love it and it's awesome. And there's like, it's not completely an accurate depiction of them. It is, and I would say at starter level for this type of work, right? There's actually like, we actually have like thousands of chakras, and they go like up the dimensions and like, but again, like you don't want to be talking about that like with new people. They're going to think you're probably a little wacky, probably, maybe, I don't know. But you start here, and this is a really great way for people to see like, wow, like anytime I teach this, like it just opens up so much for people. So we start with the 7. Eventually we'll learn about the others, we'll connect to the others, but this is a great place to start. So let's go through. What I would recommend you doing is in your journal, there goes my earbud, is taking a blank sheet and just write this out, and kind of make your own grid just so you can kind of interact with this information. So let's start, and we're just going to go through them, starting from the bottom. So we'll start with the first chakra, the root chakra. We have the color red. Our root chakra deals with our basic human needs, surviving here on this earth. Okay, so you can imagine a lot of people in Texas had root chakra trauma this past week. I did. I had like stuff all up happening in my hips after this. And so its element is earth, and it's located at the base of the spine mainly. Chakras can be this is over here. Chakras can be open or closed, excessive or deficient, or any stage in between. So when they're open, we find more balance. When they're excessively open, you can have an excess of the energies too. So root chakra is mostly blocked when we're experiencing fear, like that deep fear of like, I'm not safe, right? And many of us deal with that like that, because we've had experiences that have told us you're not safe, right? And so I always go back to root chakra work, because it just feels like an important one. Moving up, the second chakra, sacral chakra, we have orange. This is your pleasure centers. Your sacral chakra deals with your ability to experience pleasure, and it's not just intimacy and sexual pleasure. It's actually like, like devouring your experience, like of this life truly. Its element is water, which I love, and it exists like right below the belly button. So you think of women, especially doing this work, women's work, like having a relationship with your womb and your womb space, can really benefit here working with your sacral chakra. It's blocked by guilt. So when we experience a lot of guilt, a lot of it can be blocked by trauma too. Like raise your hand if sexual trauma, like sexual trauma is huge. And I recommend if anybody goes into that type of work that you just like do it with yourself, like your healing work with yourself. But many people are seeking. I've worked with lots of people who have had a crazy shit happen, and we all, like many people have, which is the crazy thing that I can speak to because I've spoken to hundreds of people. So you can know, we're not alone in it. I have my own. So there's a lot of work in the second center that we can do, and healing work in it too. The third chakra, I love the third chakra. I don't know, something about it. We have yellow, we have your solar plexus, your core, that core willpower, that drive. This is your inner sun. This is your like power center, strong at the core, right? Like that's a huge one. So it deals with like perseverance, resilience, like showing up. If you have a problem showing up, like, um, that can manifest through this. So the element is fire, and it's located right in the middle of your belly. So a lot of people who have digestive issues and stuff can do solar plexus work and see shifts. Anytime I'm experiencing something physical, you guys, I go first to the energy. I go first to the energy part of it. And that has totally changed my experience when stuff happens to me. Our solar plexus is blocked by shame. And when we experience shame or that like low self-esteem, like when you kind of like hunch over and you crunch this in, you can look at people's bodies and see a lot of these things. So, it can be blocked when we've experienced shame in any part of our life. So the bottom three are where you have your real like dense kind of like lower vibe, and then the vibrations and the energy raise as you go. We'll talk about that. But the fourth one is my favorite, of course, the heart chakra, color green, deals with love. Love is it, right? Like isn't love like just like the whole reason why we're doing all of it really when it comes down to it. So it's like love, it's an air is the element. It's right across your chest, all of your chest, your heart space, not just the organ of your heart but also your chest. This one's a big one for many people, like especially when you learn to speak from the heart and you're teaching these meditations from the heart, you're gonna help people access their heart. That's such a beautiful thing, like oof, so beautiful. Heart chakra is blocked by grief. So when we have grief, when we have loss, we usually experience blocks in our heart. It can harden our heart, right? You guys have heard that expression. Yeah, so we're going to do a lot working with the heart, finishing this training, where you guys are going to do a whole module on the heart. So 6, we go up to your third eye, which is such a cool space. Your third eye chakra is 6. It deals with your insight, your intuition, your insight into information, downloads, knowledge, wisdom, inspiration, dreams, all have to do with your insight. Its element is light, which is really cool. Frequency, light bands, everything is giving off light. So, and when we talk about, people start talking about astral travel, astral projecting, all of these things all happening in your third eye. It's in the middle of your forehead. I already said that. And it's blocked by illusion, which is such a deep, we could do a whole thing on illusion. But for me, like, this just means that which is skewed or untrue, capital T true, is illusion. That which is skewed or untrue with a capital T. And then we go up, 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 up to 7. We have your crown chakra. It is maybe, they say like 6 to 12 inches above your head. This is, to me, like, this is the coolest, I think, because this is your channel. This is your divine channel to, you know, that which is beyond here. God, source, universe, divine, divinity is what we think of in the crown. The element of it is thought, which I thought, that kind of blew my mind, like how thought is connected to our experience of this world and this information that's coming through. So this deals with cosmic energy. It's blocked by ego attachment. So attaching to these lower, like, pleasure, like survival, like attaching too much to here. I think it's ego, again, we could talk so much about, but this is a really good graphic to show your students. Just, hey, this is it. This is it. I have a whole course that goes into each one. It's a 7-week course. So, and it's like 90-minute session. So you can go deep into this. So when we talk over here, let me move your cute little square faces. We see over here, the ascending of the chakras is an enfoldment. Each higher level is a transcendence, which includes and is built on the chakra below it. So that's why when we do chakra work, I always encourage people to start with your root, like really work on, like, a lot of people want to like jump around, but the lower chakras provide foundation for our spiritual growth. Like, say you're working on, this is where you see a lot of people that are so open here and they're connected and they're cosmic and they're psychic and they're all these things, but they have like trauma in their sexuality, or like they're in a lot of fear and they're unhealthy physically. So to me, like, building the energy up, get solid, feel safe here, like, work on enjoying your life, feel pleasurable, like, work with your digestion, with your strength, with your passions, and then move up as you go. I realize I skipped the throat chakra. There's something around that. Did you guys notice that? Did I do that? Okay. Okay, thanks. Dang. Something happening with my throat, apparently. We'll just talk about real quick. Throat chakra number 5, blue. This is your center of expression. This is your center of speaking your truth, sharing your truth, confidently speaking. Of course, with this work, we work a lot with the throat. So the element of speaking your truth is sound. So sound vibration, it's located in your throat, and it's blocked when we're not in integrity with our word. That is when you will find people when you're not in integrity with your word. There's a lot of throat chakra stuff going on. Who here has been lied to? Who here has lied? We've all lied too. So we like, nobody's perfect in this, but it's a notice, like, whoa. You know, yeah, the throat chakra is huge for many people. So then the last piece would just be, this was a piece that one of my teachers shared with me, is humanity in general is moving from third to fourth chakra collectively. So we're going from this like power struggle, like collective, I don't know, whatever's been happening in this like ego-based reality to a love-based reality, which is amazing to think about, right? And you all are a part of that. Okay. Any questions about this part? Or anyone want to speak to anything coming up? You guys good? Okay. You can always reach out to those of you watching later also. So some teaching points that I like to share when I am working on this with someone is to work with the chakras, is to heal ourselves of old constricting patterns lodged in the body or mind. So these old constricting patterns, that is like a huge thing to think about within ourselves. Like, what are my old constricting patterns? And the fact that they're lodged and stuck in the body gives us a window of opportunity for healing. Okay. Anything we do in meditation and in this work, I believe, is like giving the power back to the person, right? Like the person's ability to heal naturally. Of course, you're a co-creator in that, but the healing isn't you, right? It's them doing it for themselves. That's such an empowering thing. Their chakras are the benchmarks for self-awareness on an energetic level. So I always share, like, I use them to like just notice where I am, what's coming up. Like, do I have some weird digestive stuff coming up? Okay, where am I not like being in my power? Where am I playing small? I can tie it back to things I'm experiencing in my world. Like, oh, like my like chest pain, right? Where am I like, oh, I've been closing off my heart to my partner, of course. Your body will manifest through like stuff that it's ready to tell you. So we connect to our chakras to connect to ourselves on a deeper level. And that's all we're doing with teaching meditation. We're helping people connect to themselves on a deeper level. Chakras can be opened through various physical exercises, meditations, healing methods, life experiences, and just having a general understanding of them. So once people start to learn, like, oh, my root, like I'm not feeling safe, or it's such a cool tool to have for people. And then, yeah, the goal would be more self-awareness and more profound states of consciousness, which who doesn't want that, right? And then the palm energy exercise, let's do it after the break because I actually need to refresh what that is. I think I remember what it is, but we'll do it after the break. So any questions about sharing about the chakras? You guys are going to learn how to guide a specific meditation for them. But does anything come up here? Okay. Well, let's do this. We're blazing tonight. Good job, guys. Let's put you guys in breakout rooms for a second. I'd love for you to visit with each other for a minute. And let me see the prompt. Oh, okay. So the prompt would be like, which of the chakras are you most curious about or connecting to after hearing that? Which ones are kind of like, yeah, are you curious about within yourself? Will be the prompt. Just take like a minute and a half. You'll be with a partner. And I'll bring you guys back in about 5 minutos. Let's do 2 breakout rooms. Okay, whoever you're with is who you're meant to be with. We know that. 2. Okay, I'll see you soon. Today, we're going to do a chakra based meditation. I love this meditation because it helps me connect to all parts of me. I feel like I can kind of pause long enough to just check in. And that's why I love this meditation. We're going to be using our imagination to see spinning wheels at different parts of our body. So with that, you can do this one laying down today if you would like, or seated, whichever one. And as you're ready, I invite you to find whatever position you're going to go with. And close your eyes. And as you find your eyes closing, let's together take a nice big breath in. And let's exhale and let it go. Do that again. Take a breath in. And let it go. One more like that. Big breath in. And exhale. Then breathing now in and out of your nose. And just imagine your breath traveling up and down your spine. And now we're going to bring our focus to the base of our spine. So bring your awareness to the base of your spine. Right at the base of your spine, see a red spinning wheel. Whatever image comes up first is perfect. I want you to connect to a red and see a red spinning wheel right at the base of your spine, your root chakra. And as you take your next few breaths, just see this wheel spinning in perfect balance. Root chakra is your center of feeling safe. So as you connect to your root, maybe repeating in your mind, I am safe. And let's take a big breath into I am safe. Inhale. And exhale. Now moving up your spine, bring your awareness and your focus to right below your belly button. And right below your belly button, see an orange spinning wheel. Whatever image comes up, whatever size it is perfect. See and connect to an orange spinning wheel right below your belly button, your sacral chakra, your center for experiencing pleasure, the joy of this life experience. So connect to your sacral chakra and see this orange spinning wheel in perfect balance. And always noticing anything that comes up. as you connect to it. Maybe repeating in your mind, I am safe to enjoy. I am safe to enjoy. And take a big breath into your sacral. And exhale. And now bringing your focus and awareness right up to the center of your belly. Seeing a yellow spinning wheel. Your solar plexus chakra. See and connect to this yellow spinning wheel. Your center for courage, resilience, your inner fire. As you connect to and see this beautiful yellow spinning wheel in perfect balance, maybe repeating in your mind the mantra, I am powerful. And take a big breath into your solar plexus chakra. And exhale. And now bringing your focus and awareness up to the center of your chest. Seeing a beautiful green spinning wheel. Your heart chakra. Your center for giving and receiving love. Connecting to your heart and seeing a perfectly spinning green wheel. And as you connect to the green wheel, maybe repeating in your mind the mantra, I am love. And take a really big, deep breath into your heart. And exhale. Now bringing your focus and awareness up to your throat. Seeing at the center of your throat a beautiful blue spinning wheel. Your throat chakra. Your center for self-expression, communication, speaking your truth. Connect to and see this beautiful blue spinning wheel. Always noticing whatever comes up. And maybe as you connect to this blue wheel, repeating in your mind the mantra, I am safe to express. I am safe to express. And take a big breath in for your throat. And exhale. Now bringing your focus and awareness up to the center of your forehead. seeing a beautiful purple spinning wheel. Your third eye chakra. Maybe even turning your gaze slightly upward. Connect to this beautiful purple spinning wheel, your center for insight, intuition. Connect to your third eye. And maybe repeat in your mind the mantra, I am safe to receive. I'm safe to receive. And take a big breath into your third eye. And exhale. And now bringing your focus and awareness to about 6 inches above your head. Take your focus and awareness all the way up to right above your head and see a beautiful iridescent white spinning wheel. Your crown chakra. Your center of connection to the divine, to a higher knowing. See and connect to this beautiful, brilliant white spinning wheel. And as you connect to your crown, maybe repeating in your mind the mantra, I am connected. I am connected. And with that, take a big breath into your crown. Breathe in. And exhale. And for these last few breaths, now just expand out your awareness and connect to all 7 of these chakras. Seeing them all as beautiful spinning wheels. Starting from the bottom all the way up. And all together, let's take a big breath in together. And exhale. And as you're ready, you can slowly start to blink your eyes open. Coming back to the space. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, Apollo, see if Matt and Heidi come back on. How was that for you? Anyone want to speak to anything they felt or what you thought? Were you able to visualize it and connect to the spaces? See them? Cool. Awesome. Did anybody have anything like that they felt in their body in a specific chakra?
I felt something in my stomach area. It was interesting because it felt like it was hard for me to take a full deep breath. And it wasn't because there was any resistance. Like when I was just trying to feel it out and listen to you, you said something to the effect of like I'm safe to like I'm safe and like it's okay. Like and it was like I was almost scared to expand my stomach as wide as I was going to. So yeah, that came up for me.
Yeah, cool. Interesting notices. Nobody's experience is going to be the same. That's the beautiful piece about this type of work. I've been speaking to this a lot lately. Got my oil. How we have an individual experiences and we have a shared experience, right? And so Matt speaking beautifully to his experience within our shared experience. So cool. Okay, so let's share my screen and let's just wrap this puppy up and let you guys practice this. Okay, so this one, obviously we're getting like more advanced, we're getting in, there's more words being used, there's more going on in this meditation. This is our next week we start the breath work. So this is like kind of the last like visualization that is, I feel like one of the more advanced ones because there's a lot you can include in it. So the technique, chakra meditation, we are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. How beautiful. The purpose of this meditation is to give our students an introduction to their chakra system. The benefits of this meditation is it opens a door. Anytime I've done any work like or introduced people to this, it's like it's opened a door in their consciousness and their awareness. That's kind of what they're for. Like, I think to understand and connect to ourselves at this level. And yeah, so the goal would be to connect the people you're walking with to another layer of themselves. Because a lot of times people go to meditation to answer that big question: who am I? What is all this? What is all this? Right? Like, what's going on in my head and my heart? And so many people have so much going on in their head and heart right now. So, with the visualization, you can use, like I use spinning wheels. I felt like the other ones I've always done lotus flowers. So you can have them imagine flowers there or spinning wheels, depending on the group. I think because like we have some masculine energy in here too. I was like, let's do wheels this time. So, and I always preface like, we're going to be using our imagination in this and to connect to our chakras. That's literally how we connect to all this is through our imagination. And, as kids, our imagination is so intact. And then over time, that can be a little more challenging for adults. So, as a teacher, some of your students, like, they may not see anything at first. They may be like, I'm like nothing, and that's okay. There is no wrong experience, right? And especially with the imagination and when we're working with visualizing, many people can have it kind of closed off, right? And so, really, the only language I use around that is like, as long as you're here and you're breathing and you're listening, you're doing the meditation, right? Like, it's enough. So we always want to use that like positive affirmations for our people. As you're delivering this meditation, you'll state your intention, like the ones before, why you love this meditation, if you're choosing to guide it, kind of like I shared with you guys. You can always ground them into the body with 3 deep breaths. It also helps you. Do you guys feel that like when you start something with 3 deep breaths, it kind of helps you like land, which is a great thing. And then, you have them start at the root and work your way up. When I usually when I go to each chakra, I say, bring your focus and awareness to the part of the body, base of the spine. So you'd say the location first, because you can't say bring your awareness to your root chakra. Some people may think that's like their butt, some people may think it's like their, I don't know, their feet. right? And so you want to say the body part first. So bring your focus and breath to the base of your spine. And then you would add on seeing, imagining a spinning wheel or a red flower, a red lotus flower at the base of your spine. And then you just spend a few breaths connecting to that area. And that's where you have some freedom, you know, within your language. You can add in, you know, see the red spinning wheel, your root chakra, your center for safety, right? So you could like add in little teaching points if you wanted, or if you want to just do silence, like connect and see a beautiful red spinning wheel and let them be there, and like present moment awareness, then bring them back to the red spinning wheel. And eventually more words will come, more language will come, right? You can add an affirmation, explanation, have them just really, you can have them start to notice any area, anything that comes up while they're in each spot. And you'll just, so kind of how I did that one was like, you know, bring it to the area. This is what it is, you know, maybe say in your mind this affirmation. And I did affirmations, and you can make up your own affirmations. I'm always happy to give you some, but like they have to do with the area, right? So root chakra, I am safe. I think I did for Sager, like I'm safe to enjoy. Solar plexus, like I'm resilient, I'm powerful, I'm love, I am safe to express, I can safe to receive, I am connected. So the affirmations are pretty great, and you can work with them a lot in meditation too. So move all the way up, take a few breaths at each one. Before I move on, you guys notice I did a big breath at each one. So take a breath, breathe into your root. And that also gives you a deep breath, and exhale, let it go. The breath is the connection point. Go all the way up and take a few breaths, breathing up and down the whole system, seeing all of them, you know, open, spinning, or connected to. Really, we never want anybody to feel like anything has to be perfect. It's more like just the connection is what's most important. So I think that was the only slide. Okay, so any questions on the chakras? What I would recommend when you guys practice is have that chart out if you have it and you wrote it out. If you want some notes while you're practicing with your partner, and you don't have to have your eyes closed. You know, like you could refer back if you want that like buffer when you start. This is a little longer meditation. Oh, my phone's right here. So we're going to, it's 14. So I'll give you guys about 15 minutes total. So just kind of like take, you know, well, I always feel like that's too short. Maybe let's do 16, 17. Let's do 17 minutes, because that way you get a chance to give each other feedback, and just kind of like hold that space. And it does take a little bit of time to go all the way up. So be patient with yourself, breathe for you too. And yeah, any questions before I put you in your rooms? Okay. Let's create. Okay. We'll have such a good time. I can't wait to hear how it goes. And I'll see you in 17 minutes.
A lot of different types of language that's used. Brenna used the word travel like as she went up to the next chakra, and I really loved that, just the flow that I was able to like visualize and stuff with it. So I really liked it.
Cool. Yeah. Great point. There's the kitty that wanted to be involved. So cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll speak on this meditation. It was a little more challenging than I expected. It just didn't come as easily, but yeah, yeah. It was interesting. You either like it or you don't. Like you said earlier, and I'm like, oh, I know which side I fall on.
That's great. Okay, it's fine. It's fine, and it can always change too. Like with the experience, like again, there was a lot going on in this one. So these are advancing, and the breath work is going to be another layer of it. So yeah, thanks for speaking to it, Brenna, because it's totally not meant to be like easy. I would recommend you guys in your daily practices, maybe checking out some of the past trainees' chakra meditations, and just like Christy spoke to, get more language, get more feel for it. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Matt or Heidi, do either of you want to speak to your experience together?
Sure. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked that Matt, between the third eye and the crown chakra, he, similar to what Christy said about the word travel, he said like on an inhale, bring yourself up to the next chakra, and I really liked that. Like that felt really fluid.
Cool. Very cool. Awesome. Matt's got audio, maybe. Try it. It's okay if you can't too. Nope, we can't hear you. That's okay. What about now? Okay. If it comes back on, you can share, Matt. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for being open. Thanks for being pioneers. You all are. We have a few minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and do the personal development. Oh, is Matt there?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, would love to hear.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll have to listen to the recording because I missed the past whatever was just said. But I came into that room a hot mess. I was just super intimidated to attempt to do this. And Heidi was gracious enough to go first. And I feel like her meditation was so effective that it kind of brought me out of that nervous energy that I was feeling. And yeah, I think she did a good job.
Cool. Snaps for that. Good job. Good job. Awesome. Okay, let's go on. I'll speak to this for a moment because we have spaciousness tonight. Oops. Oopsie. So when we speak of holding space for others, this is what we're doing in this work. You know, there's physical containers and there's also energetic containers. So every time you guide a meditation, you're holding an energetic container with someone. This expands out every time you do a workshop, every time you teach a class, every time you do a retreat, right? You're holding a container. And that's what I can speak to after doing so many retreats is like there's a real thing happening with that. And like that's why what I spoke to it. Oh, wow. A little call came through. That has never happened like that. Okay. I totally lost it. That was my sister. The containers, the retreats. Oh my God. Here she goes again. This is me being a new Mac user and not fully okay. I want to talk about two approaches with holding space. The first is like the inward thing that's going on with you just using your words to help your students. Um, the outward is the physical, like how you physically are in your being. Um, you guys have heard how like 80% of communication is nonverbal, right? Or something like a big, I don't know if it's actually 80, but it's way more is nonverbal. So your outward space holding is truly how you are being in your body. And a lot of people don't have that body awareness, like where, you know, like what is this saying versus like what is this saying, right? Like what is happening physically. And so that's really like the two big pieces of holding space in this capacity, whether you go on to do retreats, whole other part of it. But my little tidbits for space holding are really just like staying a student, yourself, like always continuing to be on a path of expansion yourself. We're never done learning, we're never done, like, and we're sharing all of this from a place of also being a student. So it's not like I'm the guru. I know it's like you've had a specific journey and you're sharing and you're teaching and you're offering this tool of meditation. That's it, right? Human to human. That gives it so much more of a like grounded feeling in your meditations versus like you're up here and they're down here and you're like here to bless them. You know, it's not, it is so much this like being a human in your humanness, because nobody needs fixed or helped. And I had this huge belief for so many years when I started doing this work is like because I thought I was broken, like that other people were broken and like people needed my help and they needed fix. And like, no, it's none of that. It's truly just people are gonna choose to step on this path with you, and they're there to be healed, not fixed, right? Like nothing's like broken. And I think that's a really big thing with this, because the shame a lot of people carry can be so big. When you're space holding, you want to hear, you hear with your ears, you listen with your emotion. So we're really practicing like hearing what's being said. You'll probably want to take shares after your meditations, right? Like after breath work, especially because people just get like blasted open after breath work. And so there's a level of space holding, like you share like, okay, what did you experience in your journey, right? And somebody's going to share, and it's like within that you're really listening to what they're saying. And many people will share stuff that comes up for them, especially in the breath work, like, oh, I thought about my ex, or I thought about my dog, or my like grandpa that died, or like people will come to them, right? And so the big thing is like keeping yourself separate from other people's stuff and their situations and their life and their experience, because many people come to meditation to heal, right? And so you can understand and have empathy for people's situations, which is really being mindful to not be consumed by it or take it on. That's why people can tell me their most deepest, darkest secrets. Like I know so many people's deepest, darkest secrets, and they're safe with me. I promise those of you that told me yours. But also it's like I don't take any of it on. Like I'm not like it's a different experience of it that you get to have, and that's a really like safe place for people to be with you, where you're not like judging, and you're just that safe container to held. Because I'm sure most of you know, like when you share the things that have gone on, like I know when I first started sharing about like my hardest thing to talk about, which is a herpes diagnosis. And the first time I shared about that, oh my gosh, I just lost my shit because it was so, I had so much trauma around it and pain, and like some stuff is really hard to talk about for people. And this goes more into coaching, but if somebody brings something up in a meditation, like this trauma from my herpes diagnosis came up, right? It's like you get to hold that field of like, okay, like they obviously felt safe enough to share this, right? But you don't have to take any of it on, unless if you choose to, and we'll talk about that in the breath work. Some stuff you can do to help people that are experiencing stuff in the breath, emotions. Something I do before a session, event, workshop, I protect my energy. I surround myself with a bubble, white light I really work on like being pure when I come in. If I'm dealing with personal stuff, I really try and like get centered and grounded enough to where I can show up in a meditation. I'm not projecting anything. And as you go, you'll be able to distinguish what's yours and what's not yours. So if you're leading a group meditation, people get emotional, you'll be able to tell like, oh, like I'm picking up this from this meditation. It's wild how it happens. And these are all like very subtle type like techniques. But I think it's helpful to talk about because the energies are so sensitive right now and people are so sensitive and we're sensitive. So I think it's just important to know. Something I will repeat if somebody's having a hard time, or even when somebody's sharing or I'm sitting with people, is may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free. And that's like kind of my prayer for people. Like, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free. I can't imagine like anything else I want for people than those things. And so you can use that as a prayer when you're out in public. When I'm driving by the tents villages, Austin, Texas is now a sanctuary city, which I didn't know really this. And so what that means is there's tents, homeless people living in tents everywhere in the city. It's really, has anybody seen it? Have you seen it, Matt? Did you see it? And Heidi, you've seen it. It's a really interesting thing to witness and to see, like, and so I was doing this prayer, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free, just like projecting as much goodness as I could. But anyways, it's a super helpful little prayer. So that was that for space holding. I have a whole workshop on holding space in the heart work facilitator training. For some of you are probably going to go on to do that. And we do a whole thing on space holding in that weekend. It's a weekend, full weekend training in April. So let's talk about the home play. I did get some good feedback from Christy, who was watching the Ram Dass. Did anybody else watch Ram Dass? Did anybody else able to watch the Ram Dass or listen? If you didn't, go back, and I would love watch that from the home play last week, because I think right now, especially when we're all like experiencing a lot, it's a great talk. So you already know, record the meditation or catch up on the meditation. You, whoever needs to catch up, you can go back and do the meditations from the week before, or whichever ones you're missing. I would highly invite you to go for it and post one this week. And then tag your group, of course. And your meditations are amazing. You guys are all doing really great. So on your daily practice, try 7 chakras. So go on your insight timer and look up root chakra meditation. And just do like a straight root chakra, do a sacral chakra, because some of you may do separate, just single chakra meditations. So I'd love for you guys to check some of those out in your daily practice. And then the extra little bonus is to go out in nature if it's the weather's okay, and meditate in nature and share a picture of your meditation spot in nature. I'm going to be in Taos, so I will definitely be doing that. And then we're going to send you a Bruce Lipton video, which Bruce Lipton is like this cool, he's like an old wizard. He's just super cool work, super intelligent being. So has anybody heard of Bruce Lipton? Okay, if you're, yeah, perfect. So my intention with these teachers sharing them is just like, some of them will resonate with you and you'll be like, yeah, I love like Ram Dass, right? Or Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza. These are some awesome teachers. Okay, my friends, we did it with 10 minutes to spare. Good job. Thank you. And any last shares? Anybody have anything else they want to speak to?
Real quick, I just remembered
Yeah.
that you took me to my very first Black Swan yoga session. You know, like I didn't even know Black Swan existed when I lived in Austin. And I just wanted to say thank you for that because I absolutely love that studio. It's got the coolest artwork on the walls. And I recently showed that to my friend when I was down there in Austin. And he's just been texting me about like how happy he is that I took him to yoga with me and how much he's been loving it. And yeah, so it just, that tree stemmed down, man. You're the first person to take me to Black Swan Yoga, and thank you.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's the ripple, right? And there's a Black Swan in Denver, Matt. Did you know that? There's a new one.
I did not.
Yeah, you'll
Actually.
have to see my friend Sean, the Breath Daddy. That's his Instagram handle. He's super cool, breathwork guy. Like you guys would, I think you'd really get along.
Sure. Yeah, the Breath Daddy on
That's
Instagram.
it, the Breath Daddy.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna check him out. Thank you.
Yeah, he may have inspired my Instagram handle. Oh, well, just at that, did you guys hear Megan come in? Megan just got home. Perfect timing. She's we are going to Taos for a silent retreat, 4-day silent retreat tomorrow. So I will have lots to report on Tuesday. And we'll start our first breathwork journey. So thank you guys. I love you. We'll see you Tuesday.